So for this training video, I'm going to go through the requirements with regards to fixed priced advertising. So let's just do a search inside of here. So fixed price, and I've already got the card set up, but I just wanted to go through. So if you just do a search inside the search bar up through to there, and we're looking at the white label board. So it's Section 30F of the Residential Tenancies Act. Rented premises must be offered for a fixed rent at a fixed amount. Okay, so we're just going to go through to 2412 now. Here's the card, but what I'll do is I'll drop this down and I'll also just do a search across here. I want to show you initially to do the search, and as we build out the cards, this is the new Residential Tenancies Act 1997, and we're starting a tenancy. So this is the card that we had here. Now, I just want to go through, there's a number of documents. I'll go through some of the points. Then I'll also go through what you can and can't do. So fundamentally, this is all around the advertising of rental properties. Now, of course, there's a different provision for sales, but this is specifically for rental properties. So the base rule for this one is that if you are going to put a price on an advertisement, you don't have to put a price, but if you are going to put a price, it needs to be a fixed price. It can't be a range, it can't be an amount plus, and you most certainly can't be offering or inducing offers like an auction. So the labels are in through to here. Residential rental provider or agent must offer the property at a fixed price. Just said that. You can't solicit or invite higher offers. So let's just use this as an example. If you've got 3 applicants or 4 applicants and they're all very similar and they've all offered $400 per week, what would have happened some time ago is an agent might have gone back and said, look, you've got 3 offers or 4 offers, and maybe come back at a different price. And you can't do that at all. So if an applicant wants to offer a higher amount, then most certainly you can accept it, but what you can't do is induce them. All right, so the training video is going to be sitting inside of here, and the sections that we need to look at is 30F. So I'm just going to come up in through to here now, and 30F. Rented premises must be offered for a fixed price. The penalties inside of here is 300 penalty units for an agency or 60 penalty units for a rental provider. Now, in 2022, when this is being recorded in February, the penalty is just on $54,000 per situation. So we've got a whole range of different possible fines. Okay, so Section 30F and then Section 30D. Residential rental provider or that person's agent must not engage in false and misleading advertising of rent for a rental premises. Okay, so in this situation, what we've got is that if you're going to offer the rent, let's just say it's $400, but you are working with the owner and the owner wants to get $450 and you want to just go in and lowball that price, that's inducing or false and misleading advertising. And again, if we go to Section 30D, the links are here. Again, another $54,000 potential fine. Residential rental provider or that person's agent must not engage in false or misleading advertising for the rental premises. Consumer affairs, fixed price advertising, the links are inside of here as well, and advertising and representation, so misleading, and if we have a look, we've got price down there. Let's come back through to the card. As I said, there's a number of documents inside of here. This is copied straight from the Act. We've got the Consumer Affairs fact sheets, reference guides are sitting inside of here also, but all of the information that you have is either in this video and also in this link. What I've done now is I've just broken down the individual points inside of here. The regulations are inside of there. Consumer Affairs, here are the links that I've just showed you, those links inside of there. All the guidelines are there. Let's just basically cut back down through to the operational standards for the agent. All internet listings must be stated as a fixed price amount. You might list the weekly amount on the internet ad, but I would suggest also when you're creating your rental agreement, run it to a monthly amount, not the weekly. So rather than saying it's advertised at $400 and then you have to what you're looking at is you're looking at get monthly payments, not weekly payments. Really important because of the amount of rent you can ask for in advance. So that needs to be clear. You can accept an increase above the advertised rental amount only if the applicant initiates the increase or the conversation. So if they initiate, I'd like to pay more than what's advertised, then by all means, if the owner is happy with that, then accept it, but you can't initiate that. It is the agent's and agency's responsibility to educate the rental provider that in the event of multiple applications that are suitable, that we cannot ask the applicants to increase their offer. If you knowingly advertise a property for a defined rental amount with the expectation of trying to get higher offers, this will be deemed to be false and misleading advertising. There's no mandate that says that you must place an amount on the ad. If it's online, you would ordinarily have an amount, but if you've got a board, you don't have to put the amount there. So you don't have to. It's really important to understand you don't have to put a rental amount. However, if you do, it needs to be a fixed amount, not a guide, and not an amount plus inside of here, and not offers over. You can't do that. An offence can occur whether or not you intended to mislead or deceive. It is your actions and statements that matter, not your intention. So even if you're doing this by inadvertently, not knowing that you've misled, or not knowing that you've said to an applicant, maybe put in a higher offer, if you've not done that deliberately and it's by accident, irrespective, you are still creating and causing an offence. And again, potentially fines, and we'll go through those fines in a moment. The Officer in Effective Control, or the directors or the principal agent, is responsible for the accuracy of their agency's advertising and the conduct of the agency's staff. Any complaints regarding the agency's advertising or conduct should be directed to the Officer in Effective Control. Really important. So a principal can't then turn around and say, well, it was one of the agent's reps or it was the leasing department. The principal is actually responsible for all of the advertisements that go out. Hence the reasons why it's really important to have great, really good advertising standards and really good audit processes. Recommendation is that every week when you're running your weekly property management meeting, that you would also then randomly audit all of the properties that go through. So I look at every property that comes online in that last 7 days. That needs to be audited. Then I have a look at also all properties that are sitting there greater than 14 days or haven't had anyone come through a property more than 14 days. An applicant, someone that's attended a property, then they need to be brought up as well. Look at the photographs and the ads and so forth. So if you create that as part of the weekly property management meeting agenda, then you should be able to flush out any of these issues. A sign can be placed out or near the premises for the rent or that advertises the property for rent. However, it doesn't with the amount without stating an actual physical amount. So a sign can be placed there. And here are the penalties again. So 30F1, 30F3, 30G2, and there's also some other infringement notices inside of there. So hopefully this has helped when we go through and we're looking at the training for making sure that our leasing and our advertisements are done correctly and that we're advertising the property in accordance with the Tenancies Act. So it's 30F and 30G. That's what we're looking for. Thanks for that. Hope it's helped.